All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much once again. Another Monday night watching TV. I hope you guys really like my Anyways, I am Daniel Hogan. I am going and I'm with Unity Rochester, Indiana. And glad to have everybody here. Tonight's going to be a little short. Um, basically, kind of a recap of last week. Last week, disaster. We were dealing with some have you noticed this week we're not in the showroom? Showroom got out. So I just wanted to do this one in the office. So I'm glad you guys are all here. We are in the next session, guys. So please, love comments, write questions, let's see what you got. Really would like to see what you got going on. And like answer your questions, things like that. So real quick, once you this week, we have ready for right now in Franklin, North Carolina. You're in the North Carolina area, or if you're planning a trip this weekend, if you're in North Carolina, I just talked to a buddy of mine who's driving Grafton right now, Johnson. He's got people driving all the back up down. Fun story. We were from Franklin last year, down around the North Carolina area, and I'm like, we just gone south to Knoxville, and then I'm like, I remember a long time ago, I went from from North Carolina to North Carolina, like, and Tennessee. And I remember going through the rack, and we're driving our truck, our big old Dodge Ram, our 16-foot trailer, and I know it's up to the track. So last year, we literally drove through the track, hauling a 16-foot, our 16-foot trailer full of people through the track. Yes, my audio, boom, boom, boom. Okay. Uh, my that's all. That's are you sure? Now, this is like, oh, like, that, I have high bar. Now, that's
Go down to your.
Okay, settings, camera, evolution, audio, headset, microphone. Hello. It's good.
perfect. Oh my god. All right. So that's what we're doing. So this week, getting ready for next time. If you're in North Carolina, this is where we're going to be at. We've got uh, next year's having temporary temporary there starting Thursday. We talked to another vendor, email show started tomorrow. Or no, it's started Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Started Wednesday. Right. So that's been great. We've done this over three of them. Four shows going on. First one is wholesale show. So wholesale only, not licensed retailer.
unmute. How about that? Okay. So, anyways, so there we go. Was talking to for the Fasteners Frolic. That's the next show. That is a great show for all the fasteners. I just talked to Dr. Reg today from the Midwest Fasteners Guild, which we're members of. And so that's a great one to go to. There's a couple, no, there's one really good, Shannon. He'll be there. Um, he's a great vendor from Brazil. So he'll have lots of great gemstones, rough for you guys there. Echo Valley, that's the other one I keep forgetting. Echo Valley, and then of course Macon County is where we will be at the community center. So if you guys, it's 4 days, 4 different shows. It's going to be a blast. So, all right, so that's done with that. All right, so we do have a question. Yes, I do have it getting here, and here we go. And it is from our friend Jeff Dillon. And Jeff, you're great questions. So I wish I could zoom in on this, but I cannot. But I'll read it up for you guys so if you can see it. It says, "Hi guys, hope all is well. I've been cutting a lot of jaspers lately. Great, great solid hard stone. Some of them have fractures that I can't break with my hands, but when I get into the lapidary cutting, they break. Okay, that's probably going to happen. I also have some oxidized matrix or host rocks that tends to want to come crumbling out. Okay, that's normal. Is there some method of stabilization? Uh, you guys kind of know me. I am very, very anti-stabilizing of anything. I don't like using the resins. I don't like stabilizing material. If you do, that's great. That's your thing. Yeah, you can stabilize material. The thing is that really what's going on is the quality of the rough that you're working with. If it does have a lot of matrix or a lot of host material, and it's a softer material, especially if you're in a jasper and you're in limestone or some sort of sandstone or something like that. Yeah, there's a definite change in the hardness. The other problem you're going to have, not only with just the crumbling, is when you do polish it and you don't and you have that within your preform. um, you're going to have a lot of tendency to undercut. What's undercutting? Undercutting is this. Undercutting is when you have two different materials and you're cutting it, and the softer material is going to wear away faster than the harder material. The harder material is going to polish. And so what you do is you end up getting valleys inside your stone. And then what that is undercutting. The softer material is wearing away and the harder material is not staying behind. So it's, yeah. So a lot of times what people will do is stabilize the material. So it's all epoxy, it's all resin. And so you have even hardness throughout the whole stone. And so that's what you're going to end up with. So that answers that question. And that is a great question. Again, to stabilize, not to stabilize, that is going to be a personal choice. Um, Again, me personally, I would rather just stay away from those parts of the stone that are fractured. And the thing is, even then, it's hard sometimes to even know that, because sometimes we'll be cutting a stone or we'll be polishing a stone and there's internal fractures that you don't see on the surface. And as you're polishing it down, there they come. And then of course that's where the stone will cleave on you or shear off, and you'll have some issues there. So that's a really good question. And again, a lot of times when you're looking at your rough, yeah, if you see a lot of fracturing in your stone, if you got a piece of quartz and it's heavily, and you see a lot of fracture lines going through it, um, it's going to make things a little tricky. One, you're going to, even if you get a beautiful polish on it and it stays together, those fracture lines are still going to be apparent and you're going to still be able to see them. And secondly, it affects the beauty of the stone. So it really comes down to sometimes picking the quality of the rough that you're working with. And that's why, again, we're very particular about who we buy from. We buy directly from the mines. We buy directly from prospectors that we know, we've talked to, we've built relationships with. We know their quality. We know that they're going to give us their best quality because we go out, our customers love it, they want to get more of it, and then we come back and we're buying even more of it. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. So a lot of times when you go to these gem shows, you find a piece of rough and you buy, if you're going to buy a big chunk, I mean, you can take a look at it, especially with Jasper. um, and a lot of times, especially like for us, I think the one I can talk about as far as um, Matrix is our Larimar. Our Larimar has a lot of Matrix, and a lot of times you'll have this big chunk, and I'll get that much Larimar out of this whole big slab, and I'll get a stone that much, and the rest of it's just tumbling material. That's just the way it is. That's the way it rolls. You're not going to get, it doesn't come out in big giant solid slabs. It's not. It's within a matrix. And the thing is, the matrix is no good. It's not worth using. It's old coral is what it is. And so it's very soft, and it just crumbles away. So hopefully, Jeff, that answers your question. That's a good one. Jeff's got another one for us. I'm going to get to that one here in a minute. But anyways, just to let you guys know, and if anybody else has any other questions, back like it was, no, that was 40 minutes. So anyways, good to have you, Barb. Nice to see you here. I'm glad everybody's here watching. Everybody's having a good time. Thank you so much. Anyways, again, if you have any questions, throw up a comment on Facebook and we will get to them. I don't know. We are live and we are on YouTube as well. Thank you for the YouTube subscribers and watchers. Thank you guys so much. We look forward to, and leave a comment, and hopefully we'll get to you guys in a couple weeks. So we won't have a live feed this next weekend. So anyways, back to the show. Okay. Couple things I've got going on right now. I wanted to show you guys what's new. Also, some of the things. Dead Camel Jasper. I've got some Dead Camel Jasper. It's the last of it, so I thought you guys would be interested in that. Where is it? Dead Camel Jasper, right here. So here's our Dead Camel Jasper. Just to let you guys know, the Dead Camel Jasper I got this on sale for $50, including shipping. That's 2 end cuts and one really good slab. It's a beautiful stone. Comes from Philip Stevenson's claim in northern Nevada, I believe. Philip Stevens got a lot of claims in Nevada, northern Utah, those areas. He works a lot of different ones. He is amazing. He's been written up in Rock and Gem magazine. He's got a lot of great stuff going on. So absolutely. So if you guys are interested in the Dead Camel Jasper, please let us know. But for you guys, because you guys are watching, we'll get you guys a special on this one for only $50, and that includes shipping and handling, and I can get that out to you guys this week for sure. So all right, so that's good there. All right, what else we got going on? Let's do this is so much fun when I don't have a producer. No, just kidding. Love you, D. She's in the back. She's actually trying to finish up a bunch of cabs right now for us to get so we can get packed up and get shipped out. Absolutely amazing. Just a great time there. So, all right. Let's hide that. Why wouldn't I? I'm just going to stay there. All right. So, anyways, so we got the Dead Camel Jasper. Here's the other thing we've got. Yes. So another special we've got going on. We're going to have this one here. We'll show this. This is our super cool cutting oil. And our super cool cutting oil is, it's our own brand. We actually have it made for us. Super cool is actually, it's actually, nope. It's actually super cool is a coolant. as much as it is a lubricant. And that's very important. If you are a cutter, if you use oil in any of your saws, and the question, you may ask yourself, hey, Dan, why would I use oil in my saw? The oil is mainly for saws that are metal. Okay, we have our high tech machines, those are run on water, and that's fine because they're made out of composite plastics, and therefore they don't corrode. If you have an older trim saw or something like that that is metal, and it's going to want to corrode, so you're going to want to use a cutting oil. Now you notice we don't call it super oil, we call it super cool. The reason is because it's a food grade mineral oil with a coolant mixed in. We went with a company in Ohio, lubrication company in Ohio. We talked to them. We told them what we were doing. They got with their chemical engineers, and they said, "Yeah, absolutely. We do something similar to this for quarries. We'll kind of formulate it for lapidary." And so this is custom blended for us, and so it's our own brand. It works very well. The smell is really low. I mean, it's really nice to work with. It lasts forever. I mean, it really holds up. Super great stuff. Well, anyways, so normally we have our super cool on sale. Is normally $39.99. But right now we've got it on sale for $34.99 for the 1 gallon size. We have 1 gallon, 2.5 gallon, and 5 gallon sizes. So if you have a 10-inch slab saw, the 2.5 gallon is perfect for you. If you've got a bigger saw, 5 gallons or more, you can do that. But if you've got a little trim saw, you don't need 5 gallons of oil. And a lot of places, that's all they'll sell you. So this is much better than just using straight up mineral oil. And it's definitely a lot better than using, oh my God, kerosene, diesel fuel, transmission. I mean, we have heard all of these crazy, crazy stories. Please don't do that, guys. That just ruins your equipment, and it just is nasty to work with. So, we definitely want to make sure that you guys have the right quality equipment. So, and we want to make sure you guys taking care of your equipment the right way, and that's very important. That's very important to us. So, all right. So I want to go back. I've got another second question. Okay. And Jeff, keep asking these questions. This is really cool. All right. So the second question here is, yes, another question. When I am cutting dimensional cabochons, okay, Jeff, I'm not quite sure what you mean by dimensional, but okay. Say you're going to cut a 30 millimeter round. Okay, I've seen that. Do you start a 31 template marking to give yourself some insurance, perhaps even 32? Thanks again. It's always good to have margin because you can always take material off, and it's much harder to put it back on. The thing that I like to do is I like to actually, I have my template with me when I'm doing my girdle. And what I do is then I'll hold the stone up to the back of the temple. As I'm working it, I'll use that template and go back to that and make sure that it's with it, that it's just touching, that it just, it doesn't come through. It's just barely about to come through, because then at the end, you've got a pretty darn close calibrated size. So that's what we're talking about. I believe what he's talking about is what we call calibrated stones. So what calibrated stones are is kind of what we call industry standards. So as a jeweler, 7x5, 8x6, 14x10, those sizes there, because we already have pre-made settings made to those sizes that are off the shelf, ready to go. So it makes it easier for you to make your pieces, set them in a bezel, put them together, set it, put it in a setting, make your jewelry, and then move on. So yeah, and calibrated sizes, are very, very nice to have. And if you get really good at it, absolutely, because you've got a lot more access to pre-made settings and findings from a variety of companies, that you can actually go in and make your pieces. Then as opposed to, I have to sit down and custom make the bezel, and I have to make the backing and solder the bezel together, and then then make sure it fits in properly with the setting, and then there's more soldering and more of this and more fabrication and da 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 da. You know, which is fine, and that's what being a master jeweler is all about. You have to be able to do all these things and do it well. But the thing is that sometimes we're just very busy, and it's a lot more convenient if the stone's already cut to a predetermined size and you already have a setting that stone will fit into. Yeah, it works out really well. um, I definitely don't think you need to go more than a millimeter oversized. That would be overkill. And the thing is then it's like you're really going to be grinding off a lot, when you get down to redoing your bezel. So I would say basically when you do your template, lay your template on your stone, use your Sharpie and make your out, your preform, and then cut your preform. Make sure that you are outside the edge, okay? Leave the line. And then the same thing, when you go back, you go to your first wheel, your 80 wheel, and you start working on your girdle and getting your shape, refined. Stay outside that line, keep staying outside that line, and then you're ready to go. You can do it before or after you dop it. I've done it both ways. It works just fine. So that's a really cool thing to do. So yeah, give yourself some room. There's always room for error. um, the other thing though is, and we had at the Lapidary Club just Saturday, she got a little aggressive with the trim saw and cut in the line, and and it's no big deal. It was 14 by 10. We cut it down to a 12 by 8. So I mean, so you can take it down to the next dimension. You're talking about a 30 millimeter round. That's fine. If for some reason it's too small or whatever, then just cut her down to the next best size, and redome it, whatever. And always make sure you leave yourself a bit of a girdle. It always helps. Um, that always really helps. I do have to make one shout out. One of our club members, Rick Merriman, who makes the Merriman mushrooms, they're so amazing. But his rounds, and he barely checks them. They are the most perfectly round gemstones you ever see, and his domes are perfectly centered and every. The guy is truly he's truly mastered that. So he's a great guy. Absolutely beautiful work. So it's just practice, 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 practice. So once again, Jeff, thank you so much. That was amazing. That's a great question. So other than that, let's see, any other questions? Let's see. I'm checking. We're live. Audio is very bad. Oh, still not good for yeah. Thanks, Jeff. Um, any other comments on the line? Nope. Okay. Well, guys, like I said, that was really cool. Is there anything else we would like to do tonight? I'm going to tell you what. Like I said, we're getting ready for the gem show. So like I said, tonight was going to be a little bit short tonight. So yeah. The other thing I want to let you guys know that we do have in is our MK diamond blades. So now we have Bronca Diamond. We have our Bronca Diamond saw, which you saw a couple weeks ago. The MK Diamond blades. So those of you that, like I said, that were here next week, this is kind of a recap, but I want to go back over it. A real quick, what type of blade do I need for my saw? Okay, this is very important, because picking the right blade can make all the difference in the world. And a lot of times, picking the right quality blade will make a difference too, and knowing all your different blades. So the types of blades that we're going to be looking at, first off, is going to be, all right, this is the notch blade, okay? The notch blade is a really, really good blade. It's aggressive because it's got these notched edges. And what that does is that it helps for removing material and also helps the coolant to get inside the stone. That way, where the blade and the stone comes in contact, that point of friction is where all that heat builds up. If you can keep that cool, that's going to keep your blade from binding. It's going to keep the stone from binding up, and it's going to cut down on your blade wear. Now, the one I'm showing here online, this one here has a sintered blade. And if you're looking at the edge, that edge there, it actually is cast separately or forged separately from the rest of the blade. And it is solid diamond grit all the way through. Now, a lot of the ones that you'll see online that are really cheap, the $5, $10 blades, those are actually called, they call them knots, but they're actually kind of pleated. And they're also electroplated. What electroplating is the outer edge of the blade. They actually plate with diamond grit, and you're only talking like a couple microns. The downside to that is it wears, and that will come off quickly. Those blades are very thin. They tend to chunk out easily. I've seen a lot of people that use these inexpensive electroplated blades, and they end up, yeah, just basically, uh, yeah, just ruining everything. So yeah, it's not bad. So the next one is the sintered blade. Sintered blades are amazing for, your trim saws, things like that, but they're also really, really, really great for all of the faceting guys, because if you're cutting high dollar material, you're cutting high grade material, you want a very, very thin kerf. The kerf is the width of the blade. And some of these can be as much as 60 thousandths of an inch. I mean, very, very thin. And therefore, you cuts down on your waste. Now, the difference between this is that it doesn't have any pleating or any notches around the edge. And so, therefore, it's just a clean, smooth edge. The other nice thing about it is, what I like is that I can use that edge to, kind of trim, grind and trim and shape my stone as I'm trimming it. So it works really well. And of course, the center blade, again, it's cast diamond grit all the way through the blade. Works really great. Great for cutting your preforms, especially if you're doing like hearts or things with intricate shapes and stuff like that. It does a great, great job. The last one is your segmented blade. This is the monster. This is what you want if you've got a 14 or bigger slab saw. The thing is that what it does is it combines the best of all the worlds. So what you do is you have a centered blade all the way around, and that's really important. So you want to make sure that that centered blade is there. And then with the notches, you're going to have the segments, which again help remove the material, get that material out of the stone, and help deliver coolant, keeping the blade cool, keep your stone cool. It's going to keep you're just going to get those beautiful, high quality, polished slabs. So when you're looking to buy a a saw, but much less your blades, the one thing is, hopefully this helps you in understanding what type of blade you want. And when you're looking online and you look at that blade and you say, is it centered? And they go, it's electroplated. That's a sign. That's your flag. It's like, okay, it's cheap. Yeah, it's $10. I'll get maybe 3 or 4 cuts out of it and then it's done. Or you can go with a higher quality blade. You're going to spend more money. I guarantee you this. I mean, our 8-inch right now is $90 on sale. It's normally 170, or 117. So you get a good quality blade, it'll last you for a long time. Our Highland Park back there with the segmented saw blade, we've had it 7 years and it runs pretty much every day, all day long. So again, if you buy quality, you only have to do it right once. Listen, Uncle Dan here. You only have to do it right once. Okay, so that's a good question there. So, anyways, guys, so hopefully this all helps. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. For those of you, give us a shout, give us a comment, leave us a comment below. If you guys have questions, please always feel free to send us a question. We have some great people coming in and asking questions. We've had I've had some calls today about recutting diamonds. We had another customer come in with some Saudi Arabian diamonds, which are really unique and interesting. We've got a lot of cool things happening here around the shop. We've got some new things coming. And again, we're going to be at the Franklin, North Carolina show. So if you guys are in the Franklin area, if you stop in and say, hey, let me know that you've been watching. If you watch the show, stop by, say hi. I'll throw some swag your way or whatever. It'll be awesome. But other than that, if nobody else has any other questions, guys, really appreciate it. Again, we're here to help you guys explore lapidary arts. We're here to help answer your questions, to help promote everything. Oh, last minute, I just found out today. Sorry. Bit of news that came in today. It's not great, but it's news. In August, we were supposed to be hosting the Midwest Fasteners Guild annual convention here in Fort Wayne. That has been canceled. So unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly what the reasons were, but it's just not going to happen. So, but for Dr. Reg, and if any of you guys are members of the U.S. Fasteners Guild or the Midwest Fasteners Guild, I apologize. It's, we were more than happy to help. If you guys have questions about fastening and stuff, absolutely. Also, let me know, what gear are you using if you're a fastener? I would like to know. We are interested. I had the Simulator 88 over here from Polymetric. Love it. Zach's a great guy. I know a lot of people use the Ultratex. Facet is coming back nice and strong. Questions are out there. Is Facetron still going to be a thing? Graves, big question mark. Is faceting still a viable industry here in the U.S.? I know that Justin K. Prim is just got done doing some stuff in Maine. He's got his boot camp coming up next month in Chicago. If you guys are interested in spending a week with one of the best stone cutters in Bangkok and learning old school faceting, he's definitely, go check out Justin K. Prim, Primm, and phenomenal guy, great stuff there. So thank you guys so much. And anyways, I'm going to get out of here. We're going to pack up and get ready. We'll see you guys in North Carolina. We'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. Thanks again so much, and we'll talk to y'all soon.